Atakan, hi. And Cat, hi as well. Good day. How's the day going? Things are broken. I'm sad. I am sad. Yeah, I don't know. That is. I guess that is true. I don't know. Everything is broken. Everything is pissing me off. Nothing works. I mean, things work, but it's also really bad. So, you know. All that happens, Cat. It's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. Ah, god damn it. Sorry. Is this the thing? I don't know. Oh. Does that work if I do that? Like, that would work if I do that. It's gonna be the easiest thing. I'm kind of working on the redesign of this one in order to make it like better, specifically the place page, like the design of this thing at the bottom. And what's happening right now is that it's okay, but it's still fully broken based on all the thing that I've changed. And I'm working on this section right here with the metrics, and that's why it's brighter. It's not like in theme just yet, so that I can just focus on that and see where it is quickly all day. But nothing works, and I'm sad about it. It's Tony, hi, go on in. And yeah, it's been complicated. I'm kind of happy with most of the picture fetching. So, for example, the first 3 pictures here are Marvel and Hi are from myself. So I have that, that's fine. And then all of these are from Google, so I can have less stuff on the database, so it's easier, lower, all that, you know. But then again, the thing at the top is broken now. It happens. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then I basically spend the day today on this, and specifically that effect thingy. If it loads. Khalil, hi.
TG_Khalil just resubscribed for 37 months. AA or AHI?
Well, come on in. I forgot to press that button. 37 is pretty impressive. Thanks a lot for the resub. Appreciate it. Welcome back. I hope you're good. I hope everything is fine. And all that. Come on, Atom, you can do it. It's not that hard. So I've been working on this thing today, trying to have like a bit of a stack, right? Stacks elements that just expand, and then you can have like a bit of a scroll view, which is, you know, I think that could be pretty cool if you had a menu for a place or something. And it works, but it doesn't work. And I can show you what doesn't work, but also it doesn't matter. The base thing is, if you look closely,
Atakan Bakixis just resubscribed for 25 months, 25 for me 1 year gap.
God damn.
But also impressive.
25 is impressive as well. Thanks for the resub, I appreciate it. No, this is not for Atom, this is for me and the app that I'm building, the second app that I'm building. But if you look closely, you might be able to see that, specifically if I zoom in. It basically fades. I think that's visible, right? The effect, or basically how I see it, is the elements are fading in and out of the index for each, which is kind of weird. It shouldn't happen, but it does still happen. And it has this kind of fade interlaced thing that I kind of hate. And I've been fighting this for the whole day. And Stoney, going back to the discussion we had at the beginning of the week, this was shit. This AI in here was shit. The AI in here was good and helped. So when I was going through directly the like the Claude website directly, I'm getting good feedback. I'm getting good content, good thinking, good thing, and it's fine. This is a piece of shit. But, at least I have this behavior. It's a bit of a start. It's not good. It's it's not good. It's bad. But, it is a layer of other issues. It's basically the index, like the Z index. If you take that into consideration, it's not really the case, but it's kind of the case. Of each element is supposed to be like minus. I'm gonna kill these people. I hate epidemic sound today. It's a mess. It makes no sense. Nothing works. I hate it. I'm gonna go back to my usual things right there and hope for the best. Dang, that was shit. Sorry. So basically what happens is, because we are transforming the stack of element from a Z index stack into an horizontal indexed stack, the highest index on the Z stacked is the index 0, whereas on the horizontal stack, the index 0 is the last one. So they need to basically inverse and then slide, which is what creates that transition, which I hate. And it's a bit of a mess. I don't like it. But still, the fact that I understand why it's broken is a good thing. The fact that I don't understand why or how to fix it is a bad thing. So, with that in mind, today has been on this. Mostly also have done most of the section of the app, like small sections of each elements that needs to be used. For example, the info that I was talking about earlier, that works. That's pretty good. But also, right, it's not the most necessary thing. The detail gallery or the detail H5 is a 50-50 splits, and it's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. I think the main issue I have here for me is this. It shouldn't have that amount of space at the bottom. Like, it should be flush with the image should be flush with the text. Same thing here, and so on. But for some reason it doesn't, which is kind of sad. There is no, as far as I know, I read this thing. There is no min height, max height for the whole frame, which, there's the max width, which is the goal, but there is no height defined. So that's annoying. And yeah, I've been fighting with this. The hero is better now. That's a good thing. I fixed that. It's much better. Except the fucking currency thing. But now we have the website phone number and thing bookmark that is or are in very much subtle buttons at the top. The thing that I don't like about this is the fact that the names in Japanese, or the name of places in Japanese, are very, 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 very long at times. So, um, yeah, like there is one place that I kind of like. It will be on the app at some point, uh, but it's called, I think it's Stand the Season in the Sun. I think. Nope. In and the Sun. Not that. That's not the one. Again, Maps is just a mess. God damn. Um, there is 4 S's, not 3. God damn it. Ah! I'm gonna find things that I'm not supposed to show you. I feel like that's gonna be... yeah. Oh, stop. Not stand. My bad. But yeah, that's a name, for example, that exists. And so having stopped the season in the sun plus the readings in Japanese, that is gonna be kind of taking a lot of space right there, and that's kind of sad. So it's still debatable. I don't know if this is gonna stay there in that specific behavior, but yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Then we have the list, which are really, really simple, just bullet list. So far so good. Nothing really complex. The reviews are really good. I think the only thing that I hate about it is the icons themselves. Like, they are not good. They're too bright. So that's something that I need to change. And then again, last thing has been this magnificent menu that should be great but isn't. The thing, or one of the reasons why I'm trying to push a tad more of the existing thing that I've made into more interactions, kind of yesterday, I came across this profile, which is really good, and I think I talked about one of their app in the past, and I used their app as references, but I didn't know it was them. So yeah, they've been building these, which right now I'm basically trying to build the exact same thing, but instead of being vertical, I'm doing that horizontal. And so they are building this in Xcode, which is really good, meaning that they could potentially help if they wanted to give me like some directions, pinpoints, things that I can get better. But they are building, or they have been building, things for a while, including that specific app, which is Dropset, which has a ton of micro interactions, cool transitions in between stages of like pages. And also, this is like a bit of a dashboard, but it has like a drag and drop interactions. It has a lot of really, really cool reorganization of content, which I like a lot. But that is nice. The fact that they have built all of that in Xcode and SwiftUI is really good for me, because that way I can have someone to talk to that has the skills in these department of interactions. Like, it looks to be really cool. And they are building like a new thing that they have called Spatial, or they have called that. Yeah, Spatial. Morton, hi, welcome in. Which is or seems to be, a very, very intuitive, free-floating whiteboard. And I really like their rendering, so that's really good. Like him, hi, welcome in. How's you? So if you want to check them out, they don't have a ton of content, sadly, on Threads, which I hope they had more, but they don't. And they don't really have like a website or something. That's sad as well. But yeah, really, really like their content overall. And again, Dropset is an app that we have shared in the past, meaning that this thing, first of all, the landing page is really good, and everything just work. Like I don't know. To me, this is really, really good. It just works anytimes. That's really good. But you know, like that, just cool design overall and really good interaction, really good content. The fact that this thing is bodybuilding app made simple, and you know, it is good. That's all I'm gonna say. It is good. So yeah, I like that. Mhm. Good job, Ken. What did you say? You said I was trying publicity with Claude 3.7 and also Claude itself. Need some code to it which doesn't exist. Yeah. um, so Claude has the habit of adding things at the end of URLs. So for example, usually when I have like a package dependency that needs to go in Xcode, they will add a .git at the end of the URL, which doesn't exist. So now I know, I just need to remove that to find it and use it. But yeah, because it is, I mean, Claude, ChatGPT, and I mean, ChatGPT a bit less, but still, Claude is still like a generative model, so it will create and generate stuff that probably doesn't exist. And yeah, that happens. I know. And you said that that's pretty good. That's pretty bad. That blur transition is kind of crazy. It's a reverse blur. That's interesting. That's creepy. If you don't pay attention, that is creepy. The landing page is pretty good. Yeah, you probably have placed like some sort of a progressive blur somewhere that offsets it. It's kind of weird, but I get it. Huh. Didn't choose any progressive blur. Interesting. Well, you have something that is weird. Like your blur on the video seems to be half progressive. Also, I just saw that the header is half sticky. So when I'm scrolling, it becomes like this solid thing. If I go back up, we good. However, if I start scrolling and then go back up, I'm at the top. It doesn't go back. So you may have a bit of a detection issue in terms of where it's supposed to start. I would recommend you to get like the distance from the start to be a tad bit longer, bigger, because right now it needs to be really in. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty good. That doesn't change the fact. It's pretty good. It's a very simple landing page. It works. It has all the content that you need. You had the animation in here on loading, which is really cool. I think I would say it would be good to have like a bit of a looping, not looping animation, but like a different animation that starts with a different person. Um, maybe something, like saying that, oh, that person had like a bit of a budget or bills things issue in the beginning, and then once they started using, it kind of worked. Um, I would say if your expenses are growing, it means if that is for business, which is in your title, but if that is for business and like your expenses are growing, that makes sense. But limiting, I mean, I get it. The more business you have, the more bills you have to pay. The more employees you have, the more bills you have to pay. So you can't really flatten the thing. However, you could reduce. Um, so I would say something like if you had something, not that, but kind of, if you had like a chart that was uh, like that, for example, with like 3 months, because currently you're on 3 months things, and instead of saying like this is your previous months and your expenses are kind of all over the place, you could say that you average or you diminish or something by having these um, kind of be like that. Like it's still growing because your business is expanding, but you have like a bit more uh, savings on these bills, right? If you had a month that is massive, you need to have it like kind of higher than the rest. But sometimes it's just like, yeah, you didn't think about that, and this is an brain unaccounted for expenses that just happened. So, you know, things. Anyways, details, potentials. um, yeah, yeah. I mean, based on this, I used to pay 4K to 5K a month, but then with Ecotrove is like 3.6 every month. I get it. But if that's 3.6, that's 4, that's fine. That means that this is like 4.5, which is not the case. And that's like 5 based on this number, which is not the case. That's probably like double, which is like mostly 8 or 9. So I kind of understand the point and the message of saying, well, we have like a flat fee, therefore you don't have surprise expenses, right? That's the usual thing because it is a flat fee and it's always the same. But I mean, I'm entering into their business model. The flat fee might not be the most sustainable thing. I mean, at 4K per month is pretty fine, but you know, it's it's better to take like 5% or 2% of revenues. But that's a detail. That is a detail. Anyways, if it is a 4-5 thing, instead of having it grow, this, to me, at least that was the perceived thing. My business is growing, therefore I have more expenses per month. I would say I would swap these two potentially, so that you would have something that says, well, in November I paid 3K, but like in December I paid 6 or 9. Then in January I paid 4. So I never know exactly how much I'm going to pay. That is a more accurate illustration than going from something that is growing to something that is not. But you know, other than that, it's pretty good. It is really clean. It's just this thing. It is not making a lot of sense to me. Yeah, it's kind of weird, specifically here. Ah. Yeah, you could have the wave animated or make it look like it is fluctuating month per month, because that's their main selling point, right? They are selling flat fees, so you don't have any thing to think about. It's going to be 3.6k every month. That's it, and you don't have any surprises. So if that could be like fluctuating based on the months, that could be a good thing. I think could be a good thing. And on this one, let me recharge the animation. It's pretty good. It's loopy. Good. You're going for the Apple Vision Pro kind of look on this, the new trend. Stoney, you want to do that? You want to do that in the app? You want to have things? Because I know you like square stuff. You could have some square stuff. You know. I don't know why we have this right there. I think it's missing something here to make it make sense. But yeah, you're going with that. I don't know if you did the illustration yourself. That's a me thing, and you said specifically on resources. Just the resources section, or resources as in the all playbooks section? It's kind of the same. All of them? Cool. I think it's pretty good. Transitions are good. Illustrations are pretty good. The cards themselves are nice. I don't know if the tags need to be here, but it works. The transition you have in between the not raised and raised is really good. It's just the shadow. Nothing has happened, but it's pretty nice. It's a smooth transition, so I like that. From what I can see, and I don't know if it's true, I mean, apparently based on this one, it's not, but on-site is blue, email is brown beige, the illustration is brown beige, on-site is blue, this is a bit purple, but fine, and then email here should be brown beige, but the illustration is red. If you have the ability and you can have consistency in colors of the thumbnails and the tag, that would be really good, because someone that, for some reason, that's never the case, but we never know. someone that is interested in reading everything would have a quick look, and the first one will say, oh, that's a nice illustration. That's about on-site. I don't really care about that. That's on-site. It's a blue illustration as well. And then they move to email and they're like, oh, okay, so maybe they have illustration that matches the tag, so they don't need to read the tag. And then they will see this one and they might say, oh, that's something else that I don't know about. And read it like, oh, that's email as well. Interesting. So, small details. The page itself is really good so far. Like, I do like it. Let's see inside. I'm guessing that's also a thing. Inside is empty. I see. That's good. That's good. That's not good. Images should be clickable, specifically these ones, which have like a lot of content. Just you click on it, it zooms in, you can see the details. Click on it again, it zoom out. Very simple. That should be an option, but it needs to happen. Like you can't have like a process flow to showcase how users are using the site or how you have implemented something and be that far off. Like you need to be able to just go in and say, oh, okay, cool, I can read all that, and then zoom out. But navigation is good, it works, scroll smoothly, I'm good with that. Nothing bad to say about it. It seems pretty good. Overall works, has some content next. Like, yeah. I think you just have to use the model? I think it's model? I forgot. I haven't used Webflow in years. But I think you could just have like the image say that you can click on it, and then when you click on it, just expand. I think, but yeah. This? Something else. Sorry. Oh, in the resource. I didn't see that. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it works. And that's probably you thing. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing this is like a client work and not like a company work where you have that as a client, or you have them as a client and you're working for them with the design and all that. Even if that's not the case, whatever, doesn't really matter. At some point, if you don't work with them, if you're not in the company, if you're not like there anymore, and they have a new client, a new thing that needs to happen, please create as many templates like this as you can, with how to place the logo, where to place it, what is the best to use. Like maybe if the logo is rounded, use these ones. If the logo is kind of square, use these ones. These types of things, so that the client later can say, well, we have a new client, and therefore we don't need to ask for just that thumbnail. Like we need the whole thing, and we can do that internally. It's counterintuitive when it comes to design business, because you hope the client will come back to you and say, well, we need to do like the 3 new thumbnails for these articles, and we have that new category to add, so we need like some design for this. I get it, but trust me, would make you look much better if you just deliver at the end of the contract and say, oh, that's pretty good. Cybersect, hi again. You quote the me setting up stuff earlier. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Well, if you have a retainer that basically ensure that you will have them, don't do it. But if the retainer stops, make sure that you kind of provide them with things like this, so that they kind of have a bit of a thing to go faster later, you know, all that. And you said what you said. I missed that message. You said, what do you think of the rich text place? When you say rich text place, as in here, or like the fact that it has title, bold, different metrics, all that, I think that's good. I think the width is good. The only thing I am seeing right there is the line height. There is a bit tight, based on the fact that this title and this paragraph have like a lot of space in between the two. Half of this in between these couldn't hurt. So right now you're probably at 0 or something like -2 or 100% roughly. Something like 140% or 150% could help to make it easier to scan and kind of use. Yeah, I don't think we have. We do have the typography line height right here, which is 110. Yeah. I think 150 would be better. 140 could work as well, to be honest. But yeah. Small detail for the fonts. But that's pretty good. The navigation though now doesn't work the same. Like on the resource page that we were on a second ago, it was a navigation summary with all of your bullet points. Here, you can't really navigate through the page. Not that it is a long page, but if it becomes a long page, you don't have that quick access to specific sections. I don't know if that's a thing, not a thing. It's just there. So yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. And this is cute. It's a bit pixelated, but it's cute. That works. The case studies is sending you to the anchor every time. So the thing that I'm seeing is every time I'm clicking on a header, it sends me to the section, but not every time. So if I have the ability to click on this, like I feel like this is supposed to send me to the same page, but just a section, it is weird. Because this being a drop down isn't. I mean, in my head, this is not clickable. This is like a drop down trigger. So here I should have all, and then playbooks, customer stories, blog, and so all bring me here. I know it's a repetition in the title, but yeah. Debatable. But it's a thing that could help, at least for navigation. Like if this is clickable, that was clean. And then this is clickable as well, but it's not like, my instinct is gonna be, I'm gonna hover it and click it to open it, and therefore it's just gonna navigate to the page. And then because I'm not moving, it's as if I clicked and basically saw the drop down for a split second and then navigated without really doing anything, so I don't really understand. So yeah, other than that you're good. This is really cool though. The transition that you have here is pretty neat. I do like how it is. I like how it was not broken when it loaded and then became broken, and not like broken all the times, but yeah. And then most of these are really good. Like your transitions are good, your animations are good, the content is really good. And it has like this new kind of vibe to it, similar to what Ghost is doing at the instant. Probably have seen that. And there is a ton of these coming in. And you know, that that being there, and being the current vibe of design, it feels similar. Like this feels similar. Same thing here. Like this is really glass. So debatable. I don't know if I like it, but it seems similar. Like that overall badge you have for the email, like this vibe here, to me is similar to this vibe here. Really similar. And these buttons, tags, thingy are kind of nice as well. So yeah. Other than that, website is really good. Website is really good. Yeah. Like, yeah, you have this small transition details. I would potentially have it here as well. Like you have it on the transition that we saw earlier, which right now we can't see. God damn it. This is not the same, it is kind of the same ID. Like that transition on the side that you have, that basically fade the content, you could use something similar for fading here, just similar to the one that you have. I mean, similar is a big word, but like, you know, you have that gradient here, so I feel like it could work as well. Having like a white overlay on top of the globe could be good, just for transition's sake, but that's it. But yeah, that's really good. It's a fun button shape. I don't like it, but that's personal. I have beef with these. They are at the limit of it's too rounded and not rounded enough. So it's like right in the middle. You add like 8 points and you're fully rounded. You remove 8 points and you're good. But like right there, it's just which is okay. It's a debatable point. It works. It works. But you know, I like that badge stamp thingy. However, it's just in the background, so it doesn't really feel like it has been added on top of the cards themselves. So I don't really know if that's a thing. But yeah. That's pretty cool though. That's not. Dang. Forgot a bit of the spacing right there. Interesting. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, it's a bit tight right there. I think your bottom padding on this one, margin, whatever, not taken into consideration, which results in that. Details. It's good. Both of these are really good. Both of these are really good. Recommended. That's something that I will put in the app at some point, but if you've ever traveled to Japan, any of you, and you look at this website, Tabelog, and you look at the ratings and the reviews, and you see something at 3.8 or 3.08, like, I'm not gonna try it, it's not that good. 3.8 is the equivalent of a 5-star anywhere else in Japan. So for anything that is Japan, like really much anywhere in Japan that is not necessarily Tokyo, a 3 point something is pretty good. A 4 is amazing, and the ability of finding like a 5 is because the place is only visited by tourists. So 3 is really good. The reason for that is that Japanese are expecting. So the service needs to be really good because it's what happens everywhere. And 3 is the expected, like, good service, good thing, the food was good, the service was good, the place was clean. That's the expectation. And because they expect that for most of the things, it's usually 3. So you will have that. It's pretty good. I'm not going to click on the pictures because you're going to get hungry again. All of you. Anyways, that was because of there is 5S, not, God damn it, not 3 or 4, but yeah, that's supposed to go there in the header section. We were on a second ago. It's kind of broken. It's not good yet. I need to fix that, and I need to fix the badge situation, because right now it's gonna be placed on top of these, and I don't like it. So it needs to go somewhere else. I think it's gonna go there just for the sake of ease. But yeah, that's a pretty easy thing to do overall. We have our landmark, which is right about here. I mean, technically, yeah, I just need that. Ah! And so with that in mind, I'm supposed to have, I think, I forgot every time. I never know. This here, and I kind of want to place it at the back, which, huh? I don't know if Frame Infinity works on the Z stack. It does, but that doesn't. Yeah. I don't think trailing works. Yep. That's not where it's supposed to be. I see, that's not gonna work. Not immediately, at least. I could do that, just to have it there, but that pushed my main content, which is fine. I wish I could just move it up, to not have that. I guess an offset? I guess. That could work. It's just, it creates this space. It's design stuff. As I mean, I said that. Design stuff in Swift UI is just so easy. It's crazy. It is crazy how simple it is. To just make things make sense. Like, I don't need to think. I do. I don't need to think. I guess minus 60 is going to be fine, right? To have that properly placed around here. I just need to check, though, what happens if... Cool. We're good. We are good. It's just the rotation of 12 degrees is kind of... Yes. I mean, front-end iOS dev is not good. Nishit, hi, welcome on in. How are you? Welcome back. Good evening. You good? Good. 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 And now I'm debating. I don't know if the random is dot random or if it's here random and then I'm getting the array of that. No, that's not it. Bitch, send me there. I'm pretty good. I'm a tad tired. I have been off of energy drinks for the past 2 weeks, so that's annoying. But I'm fine. Oh, it is It is dang. It's dang. That's the thing. Where the fuck is my hero? Right there. Did I take the fucking thing out with me? Yes. Let's do -8. 12? Has a random 5 things? No. That is true. I won't need to design it. The thing is, I can't. I'm still job hunting, but I still gave up. The last one that I receive, the last update that I receive, has been. We currently, as a company, have like a ton of application. We have a ton of things going on, so we are making a bit of we're taking a long time to get our hiring system going on. So just brace yourself. That's fine. That basically means no. And then the previous one, which made me laugh, was I sent them an email and they said, I'm impressed by your experience. We're looking for someone between 2 and 6 years of experience. You're above that. Period. Have a good day. Ah! So that happens. You know, shit happens. It's fine. But yeah, it's not really. Oh. Yeah. I mean, what I like about it is the fact that it just shows me that you don't want a good product. Like someone that has a bit more experience than what you require, which is written in the job description, is still willing to apply and give you access to their skills and their ability to do stuff, and you're like, I don't know. It's just bad. It's just bad. So yeah, that's a thing. No, like that's not the thing. We didn't even speak about compensation or price or anything. It's just like they are expecting it to be expensive. Yes, I get that. But we didn't talk about it. Like there was one that I kind of applied for 2 weeks ago that says no as well. That had a range. And in that range, the minimum that they had in the range is above what I used to make before. So in my email, I said, your entry level salary is absolutely fine with me. Like I don't need more than that. And I haven't heard back, which is sad. But yeah. 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 I think, I mean, UX maturity and UX knowledge in general, if they have been in business for 25 years and their product is still working, I feel like it might not be the best, but it's still pretty good. Otherwise, they would have died. Like, if the thing works, even if it's bad, but if it does the job and it fixes the issue that the people that are using the tool have, then the UX is not necessary. You know, it could be improved, yes, but it's been 25 years based on your message. if that's the case. Very good. That's good. That's good placement. I like that. I don't like that, but that's fine. And I made like a full thing. Right there. If it works, yes. I made, like right now, the app is built for me to build. I know that sounds weird, but what I mean by that is that I currently have the app right here, which contains the main view with the map that can be retracted, expanded, whatever, all that. So good. That makes sense. And now it just crashed because I'm trying to show you stuff. God damn it. Anyways, that works. Apparently not anymore. It works, it resize, it reposition. If I move to another city or another country, whatever, it still does its job. It has like specifics. Always good. What you as the user will receive, oh, that seems to be animating. That's not what I wanted to have. That's interesting. I need to change that. That's good to know. That's fun though. It's bad, but it's fun. I'm seeing the CPU going up. Anyways, but right now this is basically what you would see. You would have access to this, and then you have the detail of the place and whatever. But I'm building the app right now, which is what takes the most time. And this section is what is taking the most time to me, or for me right now, with basically here, if I'm looking for a place or something, because I need to add a place to the app, I'm just gonna do something weird, maybe not something in the States, right? Something there. Okay, you felt that one. Cool. I have like this whole thing that does like this flow of, you look for the place on Apple Maps, it finds it, you select it. Once you select it, it looks for the place on Google Maps, it finds it, you select it, you get the content, which is pretty good, and then it passes images, reviews, everything, opening hours, if that's the thing, and you have access to all of that underneath, and then you can just have some fun and add some data, review like some of the reviews that the people have added. Maybe you just want like these things, maybe the images that you want to have, you want the ID from far away, the ID from underneath, the view from the top, if that's the thing that you want to have, and then you good, whatever, you move on. And then I have all of the thing that I know, because I am the one that is curating the place. I'm just adding stuff for me to you, or from me to you, all of the content right there. And then at the end, I'm adding like a thumbnail, whatever, more pictures if I have more pictures, and then I save the place, it saves the place, and the place is then available on the map somewhere. I can just open it, have access to it, and now the euro symbol is just crazy. Anyways, right now, I'm building the app specifically for me, for that, to have the ability from the app itself to just build it and ensure that the records and the database is containing everything that I need it to contain. And once this app or the content is done, the plus button at the bottom is going to go away, and it will be replaced by the user or profile thing. But right now, this is just this is basically an app to populate the database, which I don't think is a good idea. I think I should have had or built like a CMS platform or something, a place where I could have done that differently than the app itself, because that's, I mean, it's fine, but god damn. Yeah. That works though. I do like this a lot. The fact that the thing at the bottom works and is selected or not highlighted, but like in the center when you are navigating the map itself. Like, that's pretty good to me. It's not gonna break. Cool. But yeah, that's where we are at this instant right now. From navigating from France to Japan, we are currently using 700 megabytes of memory. That is way too much. That is way too much. God damn. God damn. Oh. I'm so fat. Today has been the heaviest, one of the heavy days. Oh, that's new. Heavy days. So, because I go there often, and every time I go, I gain points. Today, 2 burgers, 2 fries, technically 3 sauce. Was 17 bucks compared to my usual 38. That's pretty good. That was pretty good, but I still ate way too much, and it's the people pleasing in me that was like, yeah, I'm not gonna just take the fries and burger for free. I'm gonna need to buy something as well. So I you know. So today is a heavy day, very very heavy day. God damn. I also have had like these. Went back to one of the places that I used to go, and that's been really good. It's so sad because it's so expensive, but these potatoes were so good, and this sandwich was so good. The salad was fine, but you know, I had like enough lights or good lights to take like good pictures, and that's gonna go on the app. That's the plan. That's the plan. So it's all day. Interesting stuff. Anyways. So yeah, all day today trying to build animation and transitions in Swift, and that was a mess. I wish I understood. I think that's my the current state of things. Am I freezing? I am freezing, right? Or is that just on myself? I don't know. It was freezing on my end. Anyways. I'm struggling, as the title implies. It just hurts me more than anything, because all of the animations or transition or thing that I want to do, I know how to do them in Figma. I know how to do them properly, and then I need to do them in Swift, and I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? And I can't figure it out. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Much. Is it rigged? It might be not rigged. Not rigged. That's for sure not rigged. Yeah. So, yeah. It's annoying. Specifically as well, looking at other, comparing myself with others. It's bad. I shouldn't do that, but I still do. Um, but looking at what I can find on the rest of the platforms and the creations of other people's for transitions, for animations, like these really cool. I'm currently the thing that I'm trying to build for the menu elements is basically this, but with an animation that opens the book, and so you can read the menu as if you were reading a book. That is the concept, but I can't do that right now. I can't. This is really cool as well. Looks familiar, obviously.
R_M12 is now following.
Army? Or RM12? Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks a lot for the follow. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know. I was trying to read your name and I can't. I can't. But yeah, like this is really cool. This as well. Just AR, as in AR. AR M12. I see. I see. Makes sense. Like these transitions are really good, and this one, I this one is crazy to me. Specifically the beginning and the introduction. I've been on the internet long enough, and this tiny animations in the blue background is reminding me of things I've seen on the internet when I was young. And if you're old enough, you remember what it was. But it's not exactly what my brain to remind me of when I'm watching this. It's good though, but still, that thing was kind of fun. Anyways, a lot of things, a lot of animations, a lot of transition and thing that exists right now that I'm seeing that I wish I could make and that I wish I could like implement, and I can't. I don't have the skills, and that pisses me off. So, you know, dang. Right now, I'm struggling with that. So, we'll see. But there is so many people. I think that's something that we'll see in the future, being now and further, of designers like myself that are experienced enough in design, but can't find a fucking job and basically end up building something for themselves and just becoming product agencies themselves and just building things that they want to build, which is something that we've been seeing as an evolution for the past few, I guess for the past 10 years, but way more now based on the fact that it is way more accessible, and also everyone that I'm following on Twitter is just doing these. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Anyways, if you haven't seen this is really good. This is an AI model called Manus that is basically attempting and creating pathways on a phone or on an emulators to create and interact with an app in real time to act like achieve things. So you have, it's an agent and you can just prompt it to do whatever you want. And this is a view of it working in the background while you're just doing something. And at the end of the day, it's just doing the right actions on the phone, but testing all the potential actions in the background until it breaks. This is a very impressive thing to achieve. The website itself, or what they have, is really clean. They have a very Notion-like illustration things. It couldn't. Also, Chris, hi, welcome on in. It's not really a click farm. It's mostly, again, it is like almost the same thing. I don't really understand what is said, and even the translation is fine. um, but basically, the agent is opening the app on an instance of the phone, clicking somewhere, fails, move to the next option, click somewhere else, fails, move to the next option, click somewhere else, succeed, move to the next option, and when it succeed, basically clicks on the center one, which is the initial, like, or the instance that is prompted or shown to the user. So that way, any test that happens in the background doesn't affect the user's account, but at the end of the day, the user's account is still good. So that could be really cool. But have a good look. You should. I don't know. But it seems promising, specifically with that overall app. Like, I do like it. Been managed overall. Seems again to be performing. I don't trust these because obviously you will never say that your model was shit, right? Like, be for real. I think OpenAI did that last month. I think they released a paper in which they say, well, we are not the best at that task right now. It's Claude that is better. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, that landing page so far is really much Notion coded, and also like this button is really cool. But you know, just details. It has like this really cool session, which AI works. And so right now the thing happens in the user said something, and then it just said skip once, and the AI just continued. What you can see on the side is what the AI is doing, the agent is doing. So looking at website, adding some things, creating like checks or to-do list from themselves or for themselves to go through every steps, and then soon it gives me this, which is a 7-day Japan itinerary from April 15th to April 23rd, and it has like the entire thing. And that's fine and all, right? That's just the itinerary, but then I'm here. I do have a proposal location right there. I do have something that they call the Japan Travel Handbook. And that thing contains the itinerary that we talked about, what that the AI generated, but also things like Japanese phrases. Also things like the etiquette of what to do in Japan when you are traveling, the things to go as locations potentials, things to know about transportation. And all of that was, obviously this is a demonstration, like a demo, so it is tailored, but all that being done in under, I think, 15 minutes, code and all, and it generated all of that, which to me is kind of crazy. Like, specifically that website, which has everything. The only thing that I would change here is having that fucking header sticky, because god damn, it's not. But you have the code, you can do that. Like, it, to me, it's really interesting to see that these are feasible. So going back to what I was saying, I think, personally speaking, people and designers in general are going to become devs, and not necessarily dev, but like having the ability to build something that is a product that could be used. And so you have like agencies of one that will exist, and will kind of potentially take over agencies of 15. But you know, good stuff overall. But yeah, so far there's just been so much stuff happening, details and transitions, design and thing that I do like a lot. That makes me sad because I can't do that. I don't have the skills. I'm so sad. I don't have the skills. Like there has been, like these have been really good as well. If you look at the transition on scroll, it's something that I'm trying to do on my side of things, but for some reason it's not an option. I mean, it is an option in Claude, but it's not an option in Claude because this is using the scroll view dot phase from the Apple documentation. So based on the phase of the scroll, the elements are gonna move up or down faster. So you have that kind of parallax effect specifically on the text. But because most, if not all, of the AI agents and AI coding assistants that exist have been trained on the code that is available online, they are good in JavaScript, but they are not good in Swift UI because it's just so much limited. There is not enough content in there to be trained on. So, you know, that is annoying. And yeah, so much stuff. I just don't use it anymore, which is kind of sad, but yeah. Anyways. One day I will achieve this. So going back to what I was saying last week, there is. You can 100% use React Native and just build your app in React Native. That 100%. And specifically Swift or Swift UI is not like a proprietary thing. It is a proprietary thing, but it is an inclusive coding syntax and language where like you can't have something in Swift inside of a React app, but you can have a React app inside of a Swift container, if that makes any sense. Which is an option, yes. I could 100% do that. However, if I do that, I'm losing some of the native things a bit, not entirely, but a bit. And it's a tad less optimized, it's a tad less better for the operating system, and because I do like to stay like kind of in the same environment, it makes more sense. Like it's the same thing as this. This is done in Kotlin, like Jetpack Compose Kotlin for Android. So that's the native code, and I have done the same on Swift UI for the Can app, which is not going to work, indeed. That fucking thing. Because that does work. Can I do that? I don't think I can. Yeah, no, that's not an option. But yeah, like that is better. It would be better for me if I wanted to have like one single code base with everything in one place and just managing one single code style. But because I kind of want to know everything, having the ability to build iOS like Swift UI based apps and Kotlin and Swift UI macOS apps and Vue, TypeScript things, like that's all the types of languages I'm using right now for all the tools that I'm building. Then with a broader kind of overview of everything and testing and checking and whatever, it is easier compared to just doing React or React Native or whatever and then not knowing the rest. I don't know. It feels more natural to me to have a broader understanding than just a focus thing. You know, the T shape profile, the V-shaped profile, the whatever. I forgot how it's titled. But yeah, all day. Oh, I'm seeing so much animations that pisses me off. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so good. I've been spam called for the past week, almost every day. And every time what happens is I pick up, it's open for like 3 seconds, and then they hang up. And every time after that, what do? I block them. Because you can do that. But yeah, anyways. I'm seeing a lot of people also doing like, not that, but that. A lot of people doing Rive only app. I hate it, so I'm not gonna do it, but I could. Shall at some point do that. But I still don't understand the fucking interface, so that's the thing. Anyways, today we officially, it's been like, how long have I been yapping about everything? 2 hours? Yeah, good. We officially have a subject for today. God. Today's a review day officially, and we've seen that Galileo AI has been updated. So, with that in mind, I think it would be a very good thing for us to do a review of the implementation. And yeah. I do need to find the right one though, because this is not the one. That's the one. So I think in order for me to potentially cut that into a YouTube video later, I'm going to do that. And we're going to just go over the updates of Galileo AI and take a look of the difference between what we had before, what we have now. So in order to do that and to make that make sense, we're going to go through what happens in the first episode and then do the exact same prompt to see if things were good. The main point that we had was the creation of a detail page of a TV show for a streaming platform, with the main color being purple. That was the only prompt that we gave, and it had a good start, but it also was really wrong in its understanding or explanation of the content. Most of the things here were saying things on the left where it was on the right, things that was different layout when they were the exact same, and it really was bad. This was, I don't know if we have the dates, this was last year, so it's been a while. So I'm gonna copy paste this and create a new version for the web. It's gonna be public. We're gonna generate this and see if it is better this time or not better. I don't know if it will allow me to do everything because we are now in a more paid version than before. Before it was the beta testing for everything. So now let's see what it generates and how it explains its content. It's the most important thing, the explanation. From what I can see, it did 2 instead of 3. So that's a change. I should have done that. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I forgot. It's fine though. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm thinking that if I'm recording the video, I shouldn't have like the background audio so I can have anything, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Go on. 1 second. You can do it. No, no. God damn. Interesting. It looks similar. So from a first glance, it looks really similar to what we had before. It is a bit more organized. It's and a bit more similar to what we have built. Techie, hi, welcome on it. So, what has it, or what does it has to do underneath, or say, explaining the content? So, um, we designed two variants of a TV show detail page. The first variant presents a clean layout with dominant purple theme. Prominently features the TV show poster on the left, I'm guessing. Zoom out, bitch. On the left, accompanied by the title, genre, and essential shows information on the right. Below the section, viewers can find an overview, cast details, episode list, and recommendation for similar shows, all accented with a subtle purple highlights. Good. Appreciate it. Thank you. Second variant also embraces the purple color scheme, offering a more dynamic arrangement with the TV show poster taking center stage, surrounding elements including bold display of title, genre, release date, and rating above the fold with overlapping cards. Below below for overview, cast, episodes, and similar TV shows, suggestions, uh, creating visual, engaging experience. Nothing else. Okay, so this is Galileo AI. This is a tool that we tested last year, and it is my most viewed video on YouTube. So I kind of want to do a bit of a re-review 1 year later to see if they have improved. Based on what I just read, they haven't. So they said the first Vine presents a clean layout with dominant purple themed, prominently featuring the TV show poster on the left. I don't see a TV show poster on the left. I see a TV show poster on the center and TV show poster on the center. So that's wrong. And then they are saying, accompanied by the title, genre, and essential shows information on the right. I don't see anything on the right side of any of these screens. So this is wrong from the start. It's the same thing as last year, which is kind of crazy that they haven't fixed that. God damn. And then episode list and recommendation of similar shows. So you have the episode list, which is season one episodes, and then recommendation of more like this, which is that is true. That is what they have here. However, the second one, they say that it's centered. Um, God damn it, taking center stage, like the TV show poster taking center stage, which is kind of true. Surrounding elements, which means that there are things left and right, not the case, include bold display of title, right there, and genre, release date, and rating above the fold. So all of that above the fold makes sense. Cool. However, with overlapping cards, there is no overlapping cards. Below for overview, cast, episodes, and similar TV shows. The only thing that we have here, we don't have the episodes. We do have the episodes here, but we have the cast there. So it again, as the first time, giving us like a bit of an explanation of what it has created without giving us good explanation or true explanation of what it is. So that is kind of wrong. Let me check the previous one and see if the designs are different. They look really similar. The main thing that I can see, and I'm not zooming in on purpose, the main thing that I think can see is that they have the tabs navigation underneath the description compared to right now. Come on, bitch. Compared to right now, where it has put it this at the top just underneath the poster. So that's potentially better. But that's a debatable things. And then after that, we had settings page to check if it was a bit better. So we'll do the exact same prompt and just use that as our current prompt. second prompt here. So first off, the output is good. I think that right now, the fact that they have the Figma file, as always, you can copy paste to Figma, which is the goal. And then you also have the code. That's something that we didn't have before, is pretty interesting. However, the explanation is also bad compared to last year. So I don't like this. I do like this though. Rounded theme, purple color. That makes a lot of sense. That is really cool to have here compared to before. So I do like that. Explanation really bad. Let's wait for the setting page, which had, as far as I remember, a very iOS feel, which seems to be the case. This one is a bit more wide than the first version. I think it's going to be very, very, very similar. I'm sad about it. It shouldn't be. It is very much the same. So they do have a different type of header, as far as I can tell, based on the previous version that we had. We had like different header styles. Here we have login, upgrade, and search, and there we have search and then the tabs. And on these ones, we only have the tabs. So that's an interesting thing. So the first variant feature user-friendly layout with a sidebar for navigation between different settings categories such as playback, notification, account, details, blah, blah, blah. Each settings is visually defined with toggles, switches, and drop-down, which is the same the second option in the modern design with tabbed navigation. Where? Um, at the top. Tabbed at the top? No. Different user preference sections. The settings are neatly organized with clear labels and intuitive colors, controls for customization. So none of them have the tabs at the top. None of them have neatly organized stuff. It's the exact same stuff. The second one is more chaotic than the first one, so that's kind of crazy to say that it is different. And it is the same. So going back to the previous thing that we had last year, the output that we had here is really much the same. However, it is, or it was, a neater column base layout compared to what we have today. The header is the same, the picture here is different, but that's the only difference. These, as you can see, these two were the exact same. The only difference was the top section that changed, and these two were just longer instead of. The reason for that is because we have email and password, which needed to have edit access. So that was last year. They did say the exact same thing, as far as I remember. Right, the second design is a setting page featured a tabbed interface at the top, allowing user to switch between different sections. So they said that there was tabs here, which is not the case. And on the newer version, second option, they said the second variant of modern design was tabs with navigation at the top. So it seems they have some sort of a pattern or something that is predefined in how they can respond or how they are supposed to generate the layouts and the UIs. And they don't follow any of their own constructions recommendations. So yeah, as you can see, it's the exact same thing. It's just the titles and header that changes. We have a bit of a more bright purple here, and then on this one, we do have mostly the same design. Even though they said it was different, it is mostly the same. So for the sake of the exercise, I'm going to take the one that is the most complex, I guess, and we're going to copy paste to Figma to see if that works. It takes a bit of a second to go through, and then we can go into that I should have done before. Create a new files and just paste around here. What do we have? So we have a very much one-to-one comparison or transfer, except this. That's the main difference that I can see. Layout based, everything is an auto layout frame. However, everything is an auto layout frame, which is the same thing as last time, meaning that my title and my header, or sorry, my title and my paragraphs are in two separated auto layout frames instead of being in one, because that's a section. So that's interesting and good to know. Everything else kind of works. I don't know if, and we're going to see if that's the case. we have some sort of responding. We have some sort of responsiveness going on to an extent. Like this is kind of bad in the retraction. The top is kind of good, but it's also cropping the content, so that's not the best. From what I can tell, we probably have something that's state, a max width for the content, and we probably have something that's state. Yes, exactly. There is a max width of 960 for this content. So that's interesting. That's good to know that they have implemented some of the newer features that Figma have that didn't exist at the time. But again, same as last year, most of the content that we have here, the naming convention is really bad. Nothing kind of makes sense in how they have written all of that. So that's debatable. Now, I haven't done that before last year, but that's because we didn't have code, I think. Let's see if it's good. Um, or, I mean, let's see. I don't know, but we can see. They are using, obviously, Tailwind for this. So that makes sense. They have their icon directly SVG'd inside of the file. I'm guessing everything is in there, which is the case. It seems to be pretty simple in terms of syntax and layout. Again, not an expert in that, but because it's using Tailwind, it's going to be way easier to maintain, and also for designers, way easier to go through and say, well, you know what, that flex column, it doesn't need to be a column, it needs to be a row. So that's something that can happen really quickly. I do like that. It's 500, 400 lines, and you have an export to Replit. Huh, that's pretty cool. Replit is if you haven't heard, we might do a video on that at some point, but Replit is an AI assistant kind of thing that can help you basically build something and plug it with the code base directly, and so you have access to all that. So basically, with the plugin with Replit right now would mean that you have something that is hosted, maintained, and deployed on your behalf through Replit. So that's basically the same thing as Vercel, I think, or similar to Vercel. I don't know much, but you know, that's the thing. But yeah, that's the, I guess that's going to be the overall overarching Galileo update. It is good. It's not better than last year. It seems to do the exact same errors, and it also seemed to have the ability to tell you things that don't exist in the design again. So, would I recommend it? No. Maybe if you need something really quickly and you don't have any idea of what you're doing, potentially it could give you like a bit of a base for your layout or your page, but I would rather you buy like a UI kit or something that contains the pages that you need rather than do that. But yeah, that's about it. See ya. Cool. That works for recording. That works for recording. That's pretty good. Um, we'll see if I can chop that up later. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm gonna put a marker there. They have a marker. I don't have markers there. God damn it. Ah, there. Cool. Marker done. I should have done that. It took us what, 15, 20 minutes to go through, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's sad. I'm really sad about Galileo. It was on paper really good, and they had like a ton of things that they were kind of hinting at, I guess. Um, but yeah, they haven't updated anything, and I'm really sad about it. So far, I don't think we have any other AI tools for generating UI that have been like really, really good. Like the Figma AI are really shit. Galileo is really shit. UI's art is really good. We know that. I haven't used Creathy. Oh, I did. I did use it for a second. And UX Pilot AI, never heard of it. I don't know about Motif. Figure is interesting. Prototyper is something that I don't like. And Sideforge is something else. And check these out. I mean, we are on a review day anyways. So, Creathy seemed to be a very, very powerful AI-based like Figma replacement. They have created this thing a long time ago now. Last year or 2 years ago. That's a long time ago for me. But it seems really good overall. They can understand what are the most potential or best option for screen or for like how can I say that? Um, for design that based on the thing that you already have in. God damn, that's the wrong song. Based on the thing that you already have in your design file, you can also have like recommendation based on that. So it seems you have the flow for this, therefore we can add like the end of that flow because it makes sense. So that's pretty good, but it doesn't have, or it didn't have, at least when I tried it, the Figma capability that was hinting at. And since then, I haven't tried it again. So we might do that at another time. I have never seen UX Copilot. I've heard about it on the TikTok from Tommy, but that's it. So I don't know what it does. I don't know what that. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. But it seems to be somehow integrated with Figma and FigJam and all that. So that could be something to check as well, obviously. That looks exactly the same as Creathy. So maybe it's the same team. I don't think so. It looks really Microsoft coded, which is interesting to me. When I'm looking at it here, when I'm looking at that video specifically, it looks like the Microsoft Excel video presentations. Maybe they hire the same team, but I wouldn't be surprised if the team behind Visily is Microsoft for some reason. Never heard of Motif. It looks like a copy of Figma, but in the previous version. And I'm not saying that lightly. This is a pure duplicate. God damn. To the pixel. That is crazy. Personal bias here. When I'm seeing a tool that is exactly a copy of something that I already use or came before, I don't trust it. I will not trust it until I try it for real. But I understand the purpose of duplicating and having the exact same layout and content. Therefore, you have the ability to basically bring users to your platform because they feel at home. That makes a lot of sense. But I also feel like it is the home of frustrations because you are used to have the same interface working in a very specific way and they can't do the same. They will not have the ability to ensure or have the same interactivities, micro interactions, tools, all that in their own tool, probably. Therefore, you're going to try something, it's not going to work. You're going to try something else, it's not going to work. It's going to be frustrating. I hate it. So I would rather design tools and other tools do something that is way different and that breaks the habits. Maybe have like some overhead patterns, like The left side is going to be the layers, the right side is going to be the inspector, the top bar is going to be the tools, the bottom bar is going to be the tools, you know, like things that are recurrent. But other than that, don't duplicate the exact same thing. Like this bar, which was amazing in Figma, by the way, used to be here in Figma. You had like the components, the mask, and the Boolean operation that were here, the previous version, and now that we are on UI 3, it moved around here. But that is the same thing as Figma. That is the same thing as Figma. So that's crazy to me. That feels crazy. So unless, and maybe I just had a bit of a rant for a second for no reason, unless their tool is basically a plugin that is plugged into Figma itself, in which case, good. And it's just a preview of Figma, but that doesn't seems like it's the case. Anyways, next up, figure, I don't know. That sounds racist. Is really interesting in terms of illustrations. If that's all they have for them, I don't know. They have tokens. I don't think they're intelligent auditors or something that intelligent, but you know, I have my biases again. You have Git integration, which is pretty cool. Ooh. You see that? You see that? That was a very designer reaction. That, ooh, is, yeah, very designer. This is really cool. This looks really interesting. I'm probably gonna have to try that. SideForge, an AI wireframe generator. I don't think I need that, but you know. You don't have the sounds. I don't have the sounds either. It doesn't really change anything. It should be understandable from no sound, at least from my point of view. So they said that this is like an AI UI frame or UI wireframe generator based on the sitemap that you can generate, which is pretty useful. That seems similar to what we have in Relium, if you've heard of that as well last week. I don't think I'm going to test this one. Yeah, I've seen this one before, and I don't like it. You know why? I just scrolled. I don't know what they do. That is the reason I don't like it. There's nothing here. That's not a video, so there is nothing to tell me what they do. When I'm arriving here, nothing really explain anything. It's just like we have design patterns that we have created for you. You can use. Okay, cool. And then there is like stuff that looks bad, and then this, which looks like a code editor and a text editor on the side. And then here I have like a code editor and a preview. And that's it. And it doesn't have like a free T or anything, so I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Not testing that. What the fuck? And that's food. That's different. So yeah, that one seems interesting. We might try it out at some point. just because it seems interesting, but I just need to keep that here. I don't lose it, I will lose it for sure. But yeah, it's a pretty good thing. But yeah, that's the I think that's the landscape right now for the AI UI generators, which I think I said that last time. I don't think my job specifically is in danger, because my job is not creating UI. My job is understanding humans and their interactions with the UI, and then building a UI that is based on that. So there is like multiple layers, and as of right now, it doesn't seem to be like AI generatable just yet in a good way. So yeah, I'm not scared of that. Oh, makes no sense. That makes so much no sense. Oh, one more reason to quit Threads again. It's really bad. Stoney, any news? Any things new that we have to take a look at, design-wise, on this review Friday? Or nah? Oh, my hair is crazy today. Ugh, I don't think we have anything. It's faster though. Also, weirdly enough, it is in Dutch for me. That makes no sense. Again, god damn it. I see. I mean, I don't see. That's the point. Huh. I was working on that. That's true. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe. When I was building like this component that I have currently in the app and that works, I kind of was thinking in the beginning that I could use the euros as a base for the icons. So I built kind of a set of icons that are the same colors using one of my emotes on Twitch. But it doesn't really feel right, and it also doesn't really work in terms of the app itself. Like, you wouldn't have that. So I mean, the goal was to have them as stickers and showcase that, but you know, I don't know. It still looks nice. Not against it. Just not that good. So that 5 is way too low. That's better. Yeah, I don't know. Debatable. Debatable. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted. It should be that easy. That's the thing. Like that's how things should work. You should have your stack, and then you click on it, it expands, you can read, you can scroll, and you end up here. Makes a lot of sense. It retracts. But I can't do that in SwiftUI, which makes no sense to me. If you are here and you are SwiftUI ready, please help. I'm trying. But yeah, it's bad. It is bad. What I was saying? I was saying that the hero header was kind of different based on the buttons placement and on the badge itself. And also, apparently, this one has, or because of the rotation effects, that is for some reason animated. I might just need to have this with like a -8 all the time instead. But yeah, I don't know. It feels wrong. 8 feels better, but it's also kind of bad. I also don't really like the fact that the badge is that prominent. It feels kind of wrong to me to be that visible. So maybe it needs to be not 0.2 in opacity. Where you at? There. Thing is, 0.1 doesn't seem to be that visible enough in dark mode. Maybe it's because I'm on very, very dark background. In light mode, it is way too bright, but I get that. That will work, I think. I think that will work. It might be the Tokyo Tower to Tokyo Tower sub-level text, like these two right here, that needs to be like a bit more up. For some reason, you know. Like they are here, but they are only in ifs. And it's in my spacing of 8. Yeah. The thing is, the spacing of 0 will not help in any way. And less than 8 is kind of wrong. Hmm. And our alternative names right here are not stacked, I see. Doesn't change anything though, but will just give me the ability to just say this has a spacing of 8, not 9. And we may have the ability to then say here we have an offset in y of -8. It's kind of up. The thing is, again, if the name is way longer, so if we have this like doubled or tripled, it might break in -8, but no, that's kind of fine. Still, it's wrong. It is still wrong. Would it make more sense? No. Yes? No. I'm debating having the titles or the name and then the sub-level names inside of the same container rather than having them in separated containers, which would mean that my action buttons HTAG right here would be somewhere else. Like that place name should be in a vertical stack. What I don't like about this is the fact that this is gonna be breaking. Like if my, going back to what I said earlier, if my name is way longer in Japanese, which happens often, because it is a foreign name, but it is displayed in katakana for everything, for the Japanese people, is going to take more space. So it's probably going to end up around here. So that's not good. If I'm going back to... I closed it. I was about to say if I'm going back to this thing, but I can't go back to this thing. It would be easier. But yeah, that's kind of bad. That is kind of bad. Also thinking that the gradient is kind of bad. I'm saying kind of bad often right now. That's what happens. Yeah, that in the trash. It's gonna be much better. Even if it's like empty or whatever. Let's give you the right thing. And what would be good though would be a neat transition in between here and here. So having like a bit of a blur effect in between these two could be good. I don't know if I want to have like I mean, I do. I do. But I don't think it will work. Maybe. That is wrong. I'm hearing things outside, which makes no sense. But it does blow. It does blow. If I have 80 and let's do not 80. Let's do I was about to say position. No. And offset is gonna, yeah, offset is gonna be fine. No, my offset is not gonna help. It isn't. It isn't. Yeah. Lol. Yeah, that's no good. That is no good. Let me just remove that altogether so that I'm not compromising anything. That is bad. Anyways, this is pretty okay to me. Placement is fine. I'm gonna check if that's still shaky. I doubt it. I removed the doubles, so we should be fine. Yeah, that's good. However, it's really tight. It is really tight. It goes on top of the bookmark here. That's not an option. That is not an option. So my stickers with my offset of 16, I think my offset of 16 is going to go out the window so that we're kind of align with the nightlife things. It's still kind of close to the button. It doesn't have any interactivity, so we're good with that. But, you know, for now, that's going to be fine. I really wish it had like a random effect, but you know, that's that rotation effect. I think it's an animation and not. That's true. But it's. I mean, this one is static. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. So if our error is good and we want to change our, I guess the bento is where I need to change stuff real soon. Like that. That's bad. That is bad. So specifically that moderate thing is really bad. I hate it. I really do. Oh, shit. Alright. That's gonna be better if I'm here. So, the main issue that I see, at least for now, is my primary, or everything that is currently in white, is supposed to not. So I'm gonna not white and make sure that this is primary instead. So that we're kind of good with it. It's gonna be black. I know. What do you mean? Ah, got the. Do I need to do that manually here? Ah. It's gonna be manual. See. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that rounded rectangle is. Oh, it's that. I see. No, it's not that. I don't know what it is. It's fine. Let's find another white. Right here. Right there. Right there. Oh. That's the shadow. I shouldn't touch that. I shouldn't touch that. Huh. True. The icons here needs to take the... I mean, the background needs to take the background of the device. So that's something for later. And then we need to have the grays in gray. Cool. That's underneath, you can't see that. And then rating, which is our last one. Okay, so they all have the primary opacity 04 as a background. Like here, or 08 technically. So what I'm gonna say or do is take all of these and make that 0.2, I guess. I made a mistake. I was right with 04. That's still not good. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Secondary 01 is a bit better. It makes it easier to grasp in light mode, but I don't know how it will look in dark mode. Yeah, that's the issue. It's not good in dark mode. Oh, hmm. And I doubt secondary 02 is going to be good enough. Or it's going to be good in dark mode, but not good in light. Same as earlier. I'm also fully doing a reverse, which is really bad. Shouldn't happen. That's not what you should do. I'm gonna say that now. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, fine. Yeah, that. Debatable. I don't like it. I'm gonna work on it anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but God. What's my detail view? There, I think I have a padding top and bottom on my detail view that I shouldn't have. Which either is on my scroll view or, yeah, I have a padding vertical right here, which is creating an issue at the top. And we want our gallery view titles right here to have padding pitch, a padding horizontal of 16, I think. Just on the text, that should technically work. I help. Say that word a lot today. Yep, we had like a bit of a space, 16 pixel at the top, and now we don't, which might be an issue. No, we could. I was about to say it might be an issue here for the safe area, but no, it is fine. I really don't like that. Yep. So, we need badges. Which I kind of want to take what I already done for Can. It seems like a good idea, you know, for that. For me, to go through like a similar E icon. I thought I took two. Okay, I thought I took that as well. Yeah. Might need to be a tad bit brighter in black. Might. You know what? I think it's gonna be pretty good. And what I'm thinking about right now is instead of getting currency, it's not what we want. We might want to get icons. The icons I'm talking about is the tickets, the wheelchair, and potentially the translation. I think these are the three that kind of need to be in there. If both are the same here, but that we could have like a bit of a different shape, you know, which is not the same. I feel like 8 could be good. I don't know why I'm hearing fireworks outside. Either people are fighting or something else, but oh, it's because they were on top of each other. I see. It's fine. It's fine. Chris, hi, welcome in. Yeah, that sounds classic. That sounds classic. How are you? How's the day? 80? Maybe. Maybe. I don't think duotone are gonna be good for this. I think singular classic icons are gonna be much better. And medical is how I called it. Yeah. That happens. Yes. That can happen. Did I? No, I was about to say, did I put the wheelchair in vehicles? I think I did. I mean, we have one in medical, but I think I put the wheelchair in vehicles. At some point. No. Okay, cool. Would have been good though. Would have been a good joke. So you're saying this might be good. However, '80's kind of small. '84. In '96 is going to be way too much. '94 seems kind of tight. Also, the wheelchair specifically is not visually centered, which is annoying. So with that in mind, I can then have in here my effects. So I will have an inner shadow and then a secondary inner shadow. It's going to be at the bottom at -2 in pure white, kinda. So it highlights and a blur of potentially 1, I think. Gonna give us the right amount of drop. -2 is kind of -1, -1, yeah. All right. that. I'm looking at it. I don't like it. The reason why I don't like it is because this one is way cuter. I could just use that. I could just use those. Let me use the other one. Let's use the tickets. Tickets. Device? Nope. Stony, I agree with you. A search would be useful. I know. Not now, though. Did I put that in living? No. I did not. Did I do one? Oh, yeah. It's in delivery. If only I knew. My own pack. Yeah, that's cute. That's fine. That's fine. Specifically the second one, I think. Not that. This one at the angle kind of works with the edges and the points of the badge. That's really cool. I like that. And the fact that the icons is centered in the rings. Again, the rings, you can't see them when you're rendering it. It's just like an effect that will create some texture inside of the output. But it could be nice. Could be nice. So that's the entrance fee. Could be a price tag. I know. Shit like this. The thing is, I would need like different wafers and different currency. So that's not really an option. And if I do that, that looks kind of off-centered. It is off-centered on purpose, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Have you seen this? If you're new to Figma, or if you're old to Figma, Figma has added the new plus button when you're in the frame tool. So if I type on F, I have like these dots next to frames. So if I click on that, it'll just duplicate the frame so that I can just do edits on that, which is really cool, really useful. But they kind of dropped that as a silent update. I don't like this. I wish they didn't. I wish they didn't. So I kind of want the translation here for the language support. For English, I feel like that's gonna be pretty good of a badge. It also, right now I'm looking at it, it also feels like these badges are not gonna be visible enough. So I might need to bump their colors at some point. I think, you know what? I know. Yeah, I know that for sure. I don't want to make them holographic, all of them again, but still, you know, I like these. Specifically the ones that I made somewhere and now I can't find them. Why I do that? uh, there. Specifically these. This could be really good. As badges at the bottom. Look at it. Isn't that cute? Come on. Come on. That slaps. So much more. Ah, goddamn. Oh, cool. That could be a thing. When they don't have it, it's black. When they do have it, it's bright. Again, this is not gonna work on light background. So uh it depends. If I'm using my exact same like build, as in the rotation based on the device orientation, that could be something. But also, it feels like a gimmick right now. I feel like I've used it on can already, and doing the exact same thing here makes it okay, but it just makes it okay. So I don't know. Um, I feel like I could come up with something a bit better than this. Um, hmm. If we think about it based on the existing here, I have made the badges for the milestones kind of divoted and not there when you don't have them, and then when you get them, they basically raise, so they just bump up. Which I've seen recently with the web app design, where the design shadows light breaks out of the typical elements and make coding. Are you saying talking about, were we on that a second ago? Shit. Well, fuck. This one? Or this one? That? Oh, that. I mean, that's the glass effect. That's just glass effect. That is very simple to put in place. Yeah. That's very simple to create. That shadow right there. No, in code is the same. As long as you're not using, maybe. And as long as you're not using like I mean, basically it is a Tailwind thing. It could be done in Tailwind. But the main thing, right, of how you achieve this is, I think I need that to be framed and like this. So this is going to have an effect, and that effect is going to basically, the main point is going to be the spread around here. So you want your shape to be clipped in Figma just so that it works. You want this to be basically as blurred as you can, right? So that it is like that blurred, and you make sure that it goes down. Once you have this, you make the spread negative. So you just make it around here. Right now I have a negative spread of 16 on a blur of 40 and a minus or positive y of, let's say, 32, because that's where we have everything. You can see how it's basically down, and now it's just 1, and you just need to do that a second time with a negative spread of like -8 and a blur of 24 and a y drop of like maybe 24/16, half of it. So it gives you your shadow around here, and so on and so forth. So you need to basically bring it back up until you reach that kind of tapered shadow thing. But yeah, you don't need to use negative margin. No, it's just the shadow spread. So in your box shadow here, you have the value of 1, which is your spread. If I put my spread at 10, and technically the RGB is really bad, let me do a 255 on this one and a 255 on this one, so it's more visible. Maybe an opacity of Bitch, where you at? Get the fuck out. Sorry. 50%. You have this here, right? That's my shadow. It has a spread of 10, so it's about there. My main goal on this is gonna be ensuring that my blur, which is currently at 2, is gonna take like as much as it can, and a negative placement for this. And my initial take, like this one, which is I think is my X, is gonna be at 0. What do you mean no? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the P. And 20. I guess I had like, dang. But it gives you kind of the same thing. And yeah, like no negative values, no negative padding, no negative anything other than the negative spread here. However, just know that the more blur you add to your shadow, the more complex it becomes to compute, and the more annoying it is for you to maintain and to ensure like performance on your website. So here I have a minus 30 in spread and an 80 in blur. That is massive, which basically what it does is it just has the most slimmest element that I can have. If you look closely, it is basically just that line that is just blurred. That blur, specifically if you have like plenty on your site, is going to be taxing in terms of performance. And if it's like one button here, you're good. But if it's more, yeah, it's not good. This is not good. So yeah, but that's basically all you need. It's just a negative spread that create that shadow and that effect. And then based on what Brett had, let me just bring that here. On that effect, in order to get like your perceived glass, it's basically taking the same color as the background plus a stroke. I think it's probably going to be at 2 or 4 or something. Let's do 4 for now so that's easier. And this is simply, I know I'm saying simply, but like this is simply a gradient inside of that stroke. So for them, it is something like this, where they have like their first color, which is their kind of purpley thing around here, and then they have the black, then they have the gray in the middle, and then here they have like a bit of a white section to highlight the bottom, and that's kind of around here, and that's about it. Like that's that transition. It goes more in the center, but that's how you get that effect. Yeah. Yes, no overflow. And yes, a button of 50 by 200 will still occupy 50 by 200 because it's just a shadow. But yeah, it's just that. This is basically what we used to do, which is really fun. Like a lot of people have been finding things from 2005 that I used to build, and it's really fun, and a lot of people are saying the same thing. But yeah, like these are basically negative spread, and negative spread is you know let me see. You mean the one that was like aqua? The blue one, I think. The orange one? Nah? Of black and orange. I mean, that's basically something that he made for Warp, so it potentially a Warp thing, and not yeah. Hmm. Just like this. Yeah, that's not 6,000 pictures. I haven't scrolled 6,000 pictures right there. That is false. Like these? Well, this is not just a shadow. Like there is a lot of layers on this one to have the flare in the middle. That's a layer. He probably also had like a background. I think that's the simple, but it's not a button, so that's why I'm like unsure. I don't think he posted on layers for that. That would make no sense. And it doesn't seem to be there. Maybe it's something that he does. I mean, I was about to say maybe it's something that he's done on the other thing, but no, couldn't be in frame. Nonetheless, this is like different. To have like that sharp kind of edge, you need a shape to do that. So that's something as a starting point that you need to know. Like it is a shape that is added, and most of these illustrations are gonna be. Sorry, I saw something. Most of these illustrations are gonna be layers and not like one single layer. So yeah, I don't think. Don't think we have that. Like this is too simple based on what you described, but it's also like way too now and not. Yeah, I mean the current thing is, or the current example that we have is Costa, that does a ton of these as well, and we have been talking about these effects. But That, for example, that's more complex. Like that's it's not even more complex. This is almost not feasible with shadows. This needs to be shapes, and better, that needs to be 3JS. The to It's not really a question, but it kind of answered the question. It is the current trend to go in that department. It is the default iOS interface right now. Like this is the style that people are going toward with these highlights, these kind of glassy elements. Like that's what's popping up. And again, with these things like these badges and rendering and all that are kind of more physical than anything else. That is the current state of things, right? These shit, that's where we're going right now. That doesn't mean that it will be the same forever, but that is currently where we are going and the type of illustrations and things we are making, putting into the reality for designers. Again, this is extremely simple. Like these buttons are even easier than the one that I create in Figma usually. Like this is just a border and a shadow. That's it. The one that I have here are composed of border, a drop shadow, an inner shadow, an inner shadow, an inner gradient, a main color, and an effect. So it is more complex to build this in a way than this. I know it doesn't look like it, but that's the case. Like this is way too easy to do, specifically because it has this like transparency to it. So anything that you would put underneath would just take that color, and you will have that, well, transparency, which is the point. But yeah, it really is like your button is going to be 32 usually. It's an 80, fully rounded. Color in the background is going to be roughly white at like 1 or 2%, just to have like a slight tint. But that's about it. I don't even think you can see that through the stream, but it's 2%. And then in order to get your light effects, let me just take that as a base. So that we have the correct things. Ah, that's tiny. So with that, what you want to have is your border. That is going to be the border itself. If I'm looking at it purposefully, the edges are kind of flat, so everything is the same. So I'm going to take like 2%, like that's 50%. So that's probably like 56, and that's 100% roughly. So I'm going to add a stroke of 1. That is going to take, again, a gradient. Top gradient is going to be kind of white. Middle gradient is going to be kind of black. I think a bit darker than this. Let's use 6. I think 6 is going to be fine. And then bottom one is going to be like kind of white as well. that you have like that highlight. The thing that you want to do is apply it in a very specific blending mode in order for it to kind of well blend through. So for Apple, I think they use plus slider, which we don't really have in here, but an overlay or a soft light or something would kind of work. And you can just have that with a bit of transparency. In here, you change that that to kind of more pure black E around here, somewhere around 56. Makes more sense, right? Yep. Cool. So you have that, and then you want your drop shadow, right? Big ass drop shadow to be a big ass drop shadow. So same thing, somewhere along the line of the amount that the button is. So right now we are at 32, so I'm gonna go at like 24 in Y. Blur is gonna be the amount of the button, so the button is currently 32, so I'm gonna do 32 in blur. And then spread is gonna be half or reversed of the Y. Right now we're at 24. If I do 24, it's gonna be bad, so I'm gonna do minus 16. So it's about here. If I put it in red, it should be around here. Minus 16 was way too much. That's roughly it. It's a bit big, to be honest. Like that might be better if it was like 24 in blur, to kind of have like offset. Anyways, details. And so now I'm just gonna keep it red. It just needs one more things, which is gonna be the background blur at 4%, 16%, whatever percent you want, but something that is kind of light, not too expensive on the GPU. I think like 4% is going to be pretty good, or 4 points. And that means that anything that is going to be coming underneath is going to give you like that kind of glass effect with the benefits of having like your white take the same color as the background. So your highlight at the top right here, for example, if you had like more blue, it would take it kind of better. You can see that through here. I think right now the only thing I need is a bit more background blur to make it a bit more opaque for me. But you know, like that's working in both modes. Pretty good overall. If I'm getting like the same shadow, that's probably going to be a blue based, dark blue, 40% E, 32% E amount to get like that glass effect. And if you know, and you want to, take your highlighted shadow like this to very much impact it. This is like a variable that you have in your button itself. So your button is going to give you, or technically your card is going to give you the values of your aurora at the top, and your button is going to take that value for the first variable at the top of your border. But that's again, this is like one shape, one fill, two effects, a shadow and a background blur. The background blur is probably not going to happen. And these buttons, as far as we've seen them, in most places, if not all places, they do not happen to be on top of content. So the blur effect is not necessary. It's just like, I like it. But it's not necessary. You can just be transparent if you wanted to. That's a thing. That's a thing. And you can also have the shadow be underneath as well, so that it's visible underneath. But with that, I would rather have the background blur on top to kind of help. But yeah. That's about it. Like, it's really simple. And I know I'm saying that, and you're probably going to say, oh, it's really simple in design. No, it's really simple in dev as well. It's just taxing. The more you use these blurs and background blurs and all that, the least effective your product is going to be. So, not the best. And then after that, you can kind of play a bit more with the effects, with your blending modes, if you have some. But yeah, that is the base for these buttons. Not the same as the one from Ilya, but yeah. They're not breaking out of their container. That's not the case. You just need to have the content clipping being on the master card. So for example, master card sounds kind of fun. For example, this shadow here doesn't go past this point, and technically it doesn't go past this point, but doesn't really have anything. And then you're affected by that is more of an attribution and something that is on top of. So I'm kind of sure that this is a variable that is taking it, or it's made with 3JS. That's a real 3D button inside of the UI. It's just rendered properly. So if there is like a light source, which would be created as a light source, it's impacted. And therefore you don't need to think about it much. But yeah, it doesn't break out of the container, and being impacted is viable definitions. So like, it's basically the same thing as me saying, fuck. Here, for example, if I drop that here, and I said my top level for my stroke right here is going to take my library accent, like my accent color, and it's going to be my accent 9, right? So that it's impacted with that. But you take these two things, and then you're like, what if my accent color was communication? Well, now it's impacted immediately. So it's the same kind of behavior. It's just like you take your variables for your colors and you pass that through inside of your stroke for these types. Again, I know, difference, but yeah. And if you want it to very much be the most impacted as possible, you can take this one and do the exact same thing using your accent, for me, 12, which is the basically white. version, and that should help. I think I could take like an 11 right there, and that gives me like my overall feel. And for the shadow, because the shadow is kind of depending on what goes through, what light goes through the card itself. I'm currently at 32% opacity, so that's going to take my accent, if I can type, accent alpha, and 32, I think it's my 4? 5? I'm going to take 3 for now. And so that means that if these two, these two have or had their accent color being green, my shadow is going to take it, my highlight is going to take it, my border is going to take it here. If it's taking my violet, it's going to take that. If it's taking gray, because it's fine. It's just blending through really easily, and you don't need to think about it. Like, it's a matter of what are your variables and how have they been defined, and how you then define them inside of your buttons, shapes, thingy. But yeah, that's about it. So, I mean, it works. It might not reverse here. Like if I go into light, yeah, light is kind of broken. Still have the top, but it doesn't have the bottom, because my bottom is the darkest version. But yeah, like that. Again, really, really simple to put in place. And because they would be here, right? I mean, again, there would be a button and not anything else. Like it doesn't really affect anything else. The shadow is going to bleed through or on top of the rest of the content underneath. And that's it. But yeah, again, this is like one of the glass button, which is the current thing that we're going through. There is a ton of pretty things, as said, like shit like this, shit like what Powell is doing. This is made in Figma again. This is more illustrative than useful, but it exists. It's simple to make. Let me see if I can find it. Like shit like this, for example. That is more complex to do. But at the end of the day, it is the same thing. It's basically shadows and offset or spread. I think in CSS you have the shadow offset, which is a different property that I don't have access to, which will make it easier. But yeah, like it's just gradients. This is just a gradient. It's just a matter of how do you play with colors. How do you make sure that your colors behave like glass or plexi or something? Like that looks like shit now. Like the like this. That's basically the same concept. Yeah. Like for me right here, what I have is that the highlighted parts in the background is is a radial stroke, like a radial gradient inside of the stroke. So, you know, that happens. Jackie, hi. Welcome on in. Welcome back. How are you? Like that pisses me off because this is way easier to do in Swift than it is in here. But like basically you have that. What did I say? You have that. That's your initial sweep thingy, right? That's what we said. Something around here, starting at 90 degree and then going there, and then this is gonna take a bit of that, and you just have your fill. Instead of being like this, you make it, guess what, a radial gradient, and your inner is darker than your outer, and that gives you like this kind of inside is darker thing, and that's about it. I'm struggling with code, Jahir. That's a different struggle. I spent whole day trying to make animation working, and it didn't. It didn't work. It still doesn't. So I'm struggling. But I'm not struggling. Yeah. Like that, I mean, Chris, going back to some of the first discussion that we had, as soon as you understand light and shadows, how they are used in design and in code, you unlock 99% of the design. Like if you know that most, if not all, of the interfaces that we design are built kind of following material design first of its name explanation video, where they showed a card is a piece of paper on top of the piece of paper that is the background. So if you raise it, you can see how the shadow behave, and that's basically what we do. So with that in mind, it is, to me, again, this is to me, but it is that easy. So if you have like a card that is a bit lighter than the content right there, then you need to raise it, visually raise it from the floor. You add a shadow, and that's your element, and it is raised from the floor, not much, but a tad. And then you need it to be a bit higher than that, where you change the value of your Y and you spread it a bit more because it is higher. Then you have your element that is higher. If you want it to be a bit more higher in terms of horizontal axis, just do that. And that's tiny. That is not what I said. Oh, yeah, sorry. They don't have the same name. My bad. That's basically the thing. The thing is, Figma has a very, very hard time with shadow transitions. And it's annoying. But yeah, like it looks like it's raising, or getting raised from the floor. Took me like 5 seconds. I'm not using a plugin for quick renames. I'm just using Command R, which is Figma's renaming scheme. I might have bring it up too much. Looking at it. Yeah, 8 is much. Yeah, that's much better. I did nothing, to be honest. Like, that shadow is just more blur, and technically it should be 16 because it is raised, and maybe 32 in blur, the 24 in drop. You know. And then same thing here. Maybe the blur could be bigger. I don't know. I don't really care. But there is like right now, because of the blur that is way bigger, it seems that it's way higher, but the amount of displacement that I added is not enough to make it look like it's the right one. So that's kind of wrong to me. Yeah. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. Again, once shadow is fine, once light is understood, you are good. Like, nothing is complicated into creating visuals, at least specifically now. Everything takes light, shadows, and things. Like, this would be more complex, but this is Rive. That's not the same type of tools. And we've had stuff like that's the same thing. Like, it seems as if that was anything different, but it's exactly the same thing that I just did, which is a circle cut, and it has its radial gradient coming from the edge being 100%, and the more or the closer to the center it is, the closer to 0 it becomes. So you just have that 0 around here. It gives you like that kind of offset element in the center. But yeah, that's 16 seconds. Maybe to find the right colors. But yeah. What will take more time is this, for example, where you need to have like more layers and more stacking of stuff to make sure that it works. Overall, it is the same. It is the same. I feel like we have other things that I've seen that are like kind of in the same realm of annoyance. That could be good references for you. I mean, this one is kind of crazy, but it works the same. Like that whole highlights in place. It's kind of interesting. So maybe you need to. If you want to create these. You'll unrive, which I don't like. I understand how it works right here and how that shadow works, but goddamn, is it annoying. Do I have anything that is crazy enough? No. Same here, one layer, multiple shadows. One border, maybe. Debatable. Border is debatable. And then the usual. I love these. I love these. That's the, I mean, to me, that is the same. That's the, do you understand light? And most people don't, which is fine. Like, this is just a gradient. Technically two. Two gradients. Two gradients. So this is like extracted images, so that's gonna be kind of wrong for sure. Right? Good? Cool. Right now, the only thing that I'm unsure about is the inner line right there. I don't know if I should do that with an inner shadow or a border. I feel like an inner shadow would be good. Dapshi, hi. Welcome on in. But that is the gradient we need. And then to make sure that we have the highlight here, good job. You get white, radial, reversed, there, circular, bigger, somewhere around here. That's where it's supposed to be. And that's my highlight at the bottom, which is a radial, like good radial. And I may need like another one in the top. That's not this. Everyone's lending. What the fuck's happening? Am I missing out? Probably am. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Right. Let's yep. It's rigged. But you have this. And so my initial thoughts for the outside would have been like a stroke, which right now seems to be like something around 8, 6, 8 something. And it is like a very much darker, almost all around similar color. But then there is like other things. There is a drop shadow that is mostly black. Like these. There's pixels. and it is like a 0 in Y, 2 in blow, and then 2 or 3 in spread to give you like that kind of insetted elements. I think the blow is gonna what makes it wrong. So it's probably just because it's pixelated. Right. I think that stroke needs to have pitch. Not that. It is a tad lighter at the bottom, but not that light. So the last point that I have is that highlighted rim, like the edge of the button. You can attack that in different ways. I feel personally an inner shadow would be good for that, just because it's going to be behind this, and you just have that highlight at the top. The more I bring it in with the negative spread, or the positive spread on this one, the more it's going to be visible on the edges, and there is a bit of a faint behavior here, so that's good to know. However, it's not that much at the top, but if I bring it up too much, it's going to be showing up here. So I'm kind of needing to be less in the spread and more in the Y to make it highlighted. Yeah, that's just going to be white to get that effect. And it seems, again, that's a scene things that I need. One of these on the opposite. I think I made it larger or wider. Yep. Without the shadow at the bottom. That gives you, like, it... Again, this is one shape. One shape, three fills, one stroke, 2 effects. Technically 3 because you need this, but... However, on this one, these are most likely going to be like layers, because it will be easier for you on these types of buttons that have like a bit of a mechanical behavior. It would be easier to have like with a layer rather than not. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's about it. What I miss compared to Sketch in Figma is the fact that in Figma you can't have multiple strokes. Like if I add a new stroke fill, it takes 7 as an option. In Sketch, you had, I don't know if it's still the case, but you had the ability to have multiple borders in multiple values. So if you wanted like a border of 1 plus a border of 2 plus a border of 16 in like outside or inside, you could. And that's not really the case in Figma, which is annoying because right now I would need that to get like the rim thing. You know, that it just has like one highlight basically because it is or has this just -4. It's probably white just to highlight it. But there's something to be done with the shadow to make sure it works. Fun stuff. Anyways. Details and stuff. Details of shadows. God damn it. That sounds like a, yeah. I see. Good. Well, I'm gonna send you to Clark because that makes sense. On Fridays, Clark is live on Fridays only. That's the only time we can do that. It's kind of recurring, but you know, it happens. Anyway, thanks a lot for being here, as always. The VOD is gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can chop up the portion of the Galileo review. Make that a full YouTube video. I doubt it. We never know. If you have questions, I'm not live. You know, you can do it in Discord. Highly appreciated. And then I shall be back on Monday, if all goes well, at 6:30 Paris time. You can stalk me on social if you want to. If you want to learn Japanese, as always, use Can. It's really good. I like it. It's available on Android and iOS. I made it myself. Not biased. And if you want to give me money, you can sub here, but that's not necessary. I would rather you
Mom!
buy a UI kit, which will give you something in return. Anyways, kind of shorter one today at 4 hours, 3 hours ish, whatever. Yeah, less activities. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, be kind to each other. And I'll see you soon on Monday. Bye.